Hello all. This is my tutorial about L293D motor driver. So Basically we use a motor driver to drive motors in a embedded project, or say for example in a robotics project. Basically you cannot drive a motor directly using an IC. The pin output of each IC doesn't have the power to run a motor. So for that we normally use motor drivers like L293D. So here I have a pictorial representation, or I would say a pin diagram of my own way, a colorful one which has the L293 details. So as you can see, it has 16 pins, out of which the first pin and pin number 9, as I've mentioned in with the orange color, are the enable pins. So when you give a 5 volt to enable one, all the pins on the left side gets activated, and while when you connect a high voltage to enable to 5 volts, the right side gets enabled. So I'll just explain how it works. So pin number 2, 7, 15 and 10 acts as the input pins, while pin number 3, 6, 14 and 11 acts as output pins, where pin number 4, 5, 12, 3 are always grounded or should be grounded. Pin number 8 is the pin to which you have to give the power or voltage, I would say, to run the motor. So if you give a 9 volts there, basically your motor runs with a 9 volts power. And pin number 16 is the power for your L293D to work. So make sure that you give a 5 volts there. You can short pin number 1 and pin number 16 to a single power supply, it's not a problem. Similarly, you can short pin number 1 and pin number 9 also. Make sure that when you are giving two separate power supplies, basically, like for example a separate power supply for your microcontroller and a separate power supply for your L293, make sure that you make the ground connections common. Like both the power supplies should have a common ground. So I'll explain the working. Say for example we have connected a motor on the right side of the L293D. So pin number 11 and 14 should be connected to the motor terminals, I would say, where 15 and 10 act as the input. So pin number 15 and pin number 10 would be connected to the pins of another microcontroller. For example, as here I have drawn, say for example pin number 15 and 10 which I have marked. So the microcontroller third and fourth pins would be connected to pin number 15 and 10 here, and the first and second pins would be connected to pin number 2 and 7 of L293D. So now here is the working. When pin number 2 of L293 is 1 and pin number 7 of L293 is 0, the motor which is connected on 3 and 6 will rotate, say, in a clockwise direction. And when pin number 7 is 1 and pin number 2 is 0, it rotates in the opposite direction, that means anti-clockwise direction. Similarly, when pin number 15 is 1 and pin number 10 is 0, the motor which is on 14 and pin number 11 will rotate in clockwise, while when the polarity is changed, or maybe when the pin number 10 is 1 and pin number 15 is 0, the motor rotates in the other direction. So this is how L293D works. So you can basically rotate the motor in both directions, clockwise and anti-clockwise. Also, if you want both the motors, say for example you have a motor connected on the left side and on the right side of the L293D, if you want both the motors to rotate in the same direction, you can just short pin number 3 and pin number 14 and pin number 6 and pin number 11 together, or or you can give the input values also as same, like pin number 2 of the microcontroller can be connected to both pin number 2 of the L293 and pin number 15 of the L293D. So basically both the motors will rotate in the same direction. But if you want to activate the you want your robot to move in right and left directions, so when you stop the left wheel, basically your robot will turn left, and when you stop the right wheel, and basically your robot will move to the right side. So accordingly you have to stop the corresponding motor on both sides. Please note that when the input values are same, like if you are giving both inputs as high or both inputs as low, the motor will stop working. The motor will run only if you have the inputs in a different state, whether one input should be high or low, and while the other should be, same case, 0 or 1. So that's it. I hope it's clear. Make sure that you keep the connections properly. and this is just a real-time circuit or a real-time theoretical representation. In real time, when you connect a same supply for both microcontroller and for your L293D, when the motor get activated, there is a chance of a voltage drop at the microcontroller, and the microcontroller may go to a brownout reset. To avoid that, it's better to connect a capacitor, a 16 volt 100 microfarad capacitor on the motor power pin, across motor power pin, and also it would be better to connect a 0.1 microfarad or 1 microfarad capacitors on each output pin or across the output pins to the motor. That is pin number 3, 6, and 14 and 11. So, and also a 1 microfarad on the IC power supply also if required. So it stabilizes the circuit. Basically, it makes the current flow proper. So hope you all understood the working of an L293. Hope you all enjoyed it. So stay subscribed, keep in touch. Bye.